Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a champagne and gold kind of look using the Urban Decay Naked Smokey palette. I know this is probably not the palette you'd think to go to when doing gold, sparkly, more elegant colors, but there are some really pretty shades in here. There's these two lighter shades over here which make fantastic crease shades. These are matte, and I'm going to be using those. And there's also some shades over here which are shimmery, which is like this champagne and gold. So yeah, this is a really versatile palette. You can do a lot with this. You can make a really pretty smoky eye, or you could do something more light and sparkly and fun, which is what I'm going to do today. And I just dropped the brush out of it. There we go. So I am going to go in. I already primed my eyes and went in with this 13 color just to kind of lay down a base and let everything blend out nice and seamlessly. But I am going to go in with this combust color right here, which is a very light kind of beigey neutral, and I think it's going to be really nice for kind of just transitioning everything. So I'm going to go in, and with that, I'm going to keep that kind of low in the crease to start with, and I'm using a nice fluffy brush so it gets really evenly distributed, but I'm going to keep that kind of low in my crease and just let kind of the excess product go up into the really high points of my crease, only because I don't want a super dark crease, because this isn't going to be like a super smoky look. So I want to keep it kind of lower. And then I am going to take, this is the Unique Cream Shadow Brush, and it's very similar to the MAC 242 or some kind of synthetic, really dense fiber brush like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to pack this champagne color right here. It's called High. It's the first shade in the palette, and I'm going to pack that all over my lid. So I'm going to take that and make sure I get a lot of product on the brush, and then I'm just going to kind of pack that on my lid. And then same thing, go in here with the champagne and just kind of make sure it's really nice and packed on, because this is going to be our all over lid color. But you want to keep this really low on the lid. You do not want this to get really up into the crease or anything. That's why I use this densely packed synthetic brush as opposed to my fluffy brush, because I don't want this to get all over. I want it to just be on the lid. So next I am going to take this brush that the palette comes with. This looks like a really good blending brush. And then I'm going to take this color Dirty Sweet, which is this gold, because, I mean, you know me. You know how much I love gold and pink and kitties. And I don't know why I said that. When I think of things I love, I just have to throw cats in there. Except when my cats are being bad, which is most of the time. So then I'm going to take this gold color and just kind of dust that almost to be like an overlay, because I think anything looks better with gold overlay. So we're just going to dust that over top like that. Again, you try to really concentrate this on the lid. I don't want to get it too high up on the crease. Just kind of, there we go. Nice and low, nice and low color. And then I'm going to take this brush, and I'm just going to kind of wipe it off on a tissue, piece of paper, paper towel, whatever you have handy. And then I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to go in my, I'm just going to take little circular motions to kind of blend this up into the crease so it looks a lot more seamless. But at the same time, I don't want a ton of color in the crease. I just want it to look like a very natural kind of fade. So that's why I'm just using little circular motions like that. And then going to do the same thing over here, because this will just kind of take the excess product and use it in the crease rather than going in with more product. So when that looks pretty buffed in, and that is the key to getting a really nice eyeshadow look, is you just have to keep blending. I mean, it's ironic because I am not a patient person by any means, but I do not mind doing my eyeshadow and blending my ass off. And just kind of sometimes that's what you gotta do. So, to give this maybe a little bit more depth, not so much a smoky look per se, but just to give it a little bit more depth, I am going to mix Whiskey and Password. And that's another reason I like this palette, is because there's a lot of options here for different types of smoky eyes that you can do. There's a lot of colors you can use to give your any eye look that you're doing more depth. So I'm going to mix this brown and this gray. And I'm just going to use the dense like crease brush side of my brush, and I'm just kind of going to tap that in there. You don't need much of these darker shades, especially at all. And I'm only going to put that like on the outer V, just like that. You do not put this all over the lid, and you do not want to get this too high up in the crease. I am going to go in with a little more product and make that color just a little bit deeper, but it is best to go in with not a lot of product and build it up later than to go in with a ton, and it's really, really hard to fix it if you use too much and then want to like make it not as intense. That is a really difficult mistake to fix. So it's much better to build. Again, patience is key here. So just going to kind of put that on the outer V. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. And then don't worry, we are going to blend this out so it doesn't look quite as harsh. So I'm going to just take, again, yeah, do not just put the color in and leave it like this. You have to make sure that you blend. Blending pretty much with any, like to make any eyeshadow look good is the name of the game. So I'm going to take, again, the blending end of this brush, and I'm just going to kind of push it up a little bit, but I'm also going to do like a little circular motions. Because again, I don't want anything too smoky, too dramatic. I just want a little bit of depth. So I'm just going to go in, blend everything out, and make sure that there are no like harsh lines. Everything fades together nicely, and make sure that nothing looks choppy. And then when I am satisfied with that, put this back in the palette, and I'm done with the eyeshadow. So after eyeshadow, now, up until recently, I was never much of an eyeliner person. But I got this Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I really, really, really love this. I think this is so easy to use. It gives you a really precise line, or you can do a thicker line, depending on what kind of look you're going for. And if you wear false lashes especially, the eyeliner really helps blend the band in with your natural lashes. And even if you don't wear false lashes, the eyeliner really helps to separate your lashes from your eyelid, which I think makes everything just pop more. So I'm going to take this. This is the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and they do have this in brown also. So like if you have very fair skin and maybe red hair, then you might want to go for the brown color as opposed to the black, because the black may be a little bit too harsh on you. But you are always welcome to try anything you want. Or eyeshadows can make really good eyeliners. Like if you have a really dark shadow in a palette, that can sometimes make a nice liner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I can't talk while I do this, so I'm just going to kind of draw a line across my top lash line. Okay, and again, patience is key here. It's better to go in with little short light strokes than one huge, it's like swooping line, because then like if you don't get a perfect line all the way across, which that's why you go in with short little strokes, because nobody's going to get a perfect line. in just one try. And make sure you hold your eyelid flat like that. It makes it a lot easier. So, and now. Okay. Okay, I did get a little bit on my eyelid. I think I can fix that by just putting more eyeshadow on, because it is not that bad. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go in very quickly with more of that high color, just on the point where I got the eyeliner on my lid. And then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of more of that Dirty Sweet, just so it looks like the rest of my lid. Okay. So there, that was not bad. And yeah, this eyeliner, very easy to use. I really, really love it. It's great for false lashes. So next I'm going to go in with my face. And I am going to mix the Cover FX primer. And oh, there's my backup primer right in front of my face. I'm going to mix my Cover FX primer with my Becca backlighting primer. I was going to use my Kat Von D hydrating primer, which at some point I will use, and it's a great product, but for this look I am going for the glow. So I am going to mix this primer in with my foundation, and I like this technique because this will prime your skin in addition to giving you a little bit more of a glow. And you can do this with any primer. You could do this with a hydrating primer. You could do this, I don't know if I would suggest it with a smoothing primer or like a pore filling primer, because if you do it that way, then you may not get the same pore filling effect that those primers are meant to provide. But with any like hydrating primer, glowy primer, anything like that, if you mix it in with your foundation, it will prime the skin and it will give you whatever the primer is supposed to give you. So I'm going to take this and I am going to just kind of buff this into my skin, and this is the Morphe M439 brush. And I really do like this brush because it's great for like buffing foundation into the skin. And I'm just going to make sure I get under my jaw and down my neck so that we don't have a weird line there. And I'm just going to kind of really pounce this into my skin, because if you pounce, then the product will absorb into your skin and it will do what it's supposed to do. If you like swipe, then you may remove the product from your face entirely. And that's not the point of this. So yeah, in little just pouncing motions, make sure you get like the crevices of your nose and all that, because I know for me that is a place that I can really easily miss. Make sure you get the sides of your face by your ears. Not everybody has to do their ears. It depends on how different your skin is on your body in relation to what color your foundation is. But I would say that is probably good for me. And then I am going to go in with concealer now. And again, I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And this is like a cult favorite. Like, if you love beauty and you've never heard of this, you're doing it wrong. Like, I don't know where you're shopping or where you're looking or who you're talking to if you've never heard of this. It is probably one of the most popular concealers on the market. I do like it. The only thing I would change about it is if you look at the applicator is very small and it doesn't pick up that much product, which can be good because it's harder to go overboard. But if you look at an applicator like the Tarte Shape Tape, that picks up a lot of product. And that is very easy to like kind of move around and apply, whereas this takes a little bit more effort. And it's still a great product. It is full coverage, so I'm just going to put it under my eyes. And again, if you are looking for under eye concealer, get it like a shade to a shade and a half or a shade or two lighter than your foundation because you do want to make that under eye area a little bit brighter so as to not look like you have dark circles or anything like that. So just put that underneath your eyes, and then I am going to take this Morphe E8 brush right here, and this was allegedly supposed to be a contoured brush, I think. That's what I think it was under when I bought it on the website. But I really like this for concealer because I really like the way my foundation brush applies my foundation. And this is like a smaller version of that. So it's like smaller version for concealer. So I'm just going to take that and pounce this in to my skin. A beauty blender is also a good option to do this with. A damp beauty sponge with some powder on top can absolutely also do the trick. I just happen to like this method. So I'm just going to pounce, 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 pounce. And I'm going to go to the other side, do the same thing. Because you want to blend this into your skin nicely to kind of give it that like brighter under eye effect without looking like your under eyes and your face are two different colors. Because then that's going to look super fake. And that's not what we're going for, is it? No. So, there we go. Alright, so I've got that. And now, I have never tried this powder for under my eyes, but we're going to try new things today. I'm going to try it because I'm curious as to how it's going to perform. I am going to try my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. Now, MAC powders come in different levels of coverage. They come in different formulations. This one is not the same as the Laura Mercier Translucent because this is not a translucent powder. Laura Mercier is, I like that to set my under eyes with. I just want to try this and see how this is going to work. MAC Mineralize is going to be more on the sheer coverage side. So if you just want a powder to set your face and make your foundation not move, this is a great one to use. Whereas me personally, I like to use a setting spray only because today especially I'm going for that glow. So powders can tend to mattify you a little bit unless you use the right type of powder. Like the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is great for a dewy finish. But the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, we're going to try this under the eyes and see how it works. So again, using that same brush, I'm just going to pick some up and pounce it under my eyes just like I did with my concealer. And it is really, really important to set your concealer with a powder, like no matter which powder you want to use, because otherwise your concealer will crease. And otherwise your concealer may break up, it might fall down melt down your face. I mean, especially in the summertime when it gets hot out, you need something to set everything in place. So, and actually on that note, I think I might set my face with a little bit of concealer. Or not concealer, but a little bit of powder just to kind of make everything stay in place and not move. So, yeah. And this is the Morphe E41 brush. Jaclyn Hill recommended this recently in the video that she did where she said what all her favorite Morphe brushes were. This was her favorite powder brush, and I absolutely love Jaclyn. She has not failed me yet. So I went ahead and I bought this, and I do love it. I absolutely also recommend it if you are looking for a really great powder brush. And also, it's not that expensive. I think it was only maybe like $15, $20. It was really not bad at all. Like, Morphe brushes are surprisingly affordable. And not even just brushes. Morphe cosmetics are surprisingly affordable for the quality that you get. So if you are thinking about purchasing anything from Morphe, I highly recommend it. Next, I am going to use this Makeup Forever Pro Fusion bronzer. And I like this bronzer. This was the first product I ever purchased from Sephora. I had just gotten my first spray tan, and I needed something to make my foundation match. And so the girl at Sephora recommended this to me. I bought it because I didn't really know much about makeup at the time. And I really like it. And I've had this for so long, and it's still going strong. And so I'm going to take this on the Morphe E4, and I'm just going to kind of swipe this bronzer up on my cheeks. And I'm just using this to kind of warm up my complexion. I'm not really contouring with it. I'm not really sure if this is a good contour shade, at least for me. But the thing with contouring is, just like with anything else in makeup, it's such a personal thing. So if you find a color that's like a great contour color on you, it might not be on someone else, because it's going to depend on how that color reacts like with your skin tone, and you know how that color looks with the different like color undertones that you have going on. Whereas like I have light skin but more like yellow to neutral undertones, and so this tends to be a little bit warm on me because it is a warmer bronzer. It's more of like it's a nice like terracotta shade, but it is not a color I would recommend for contouring. So I am going to just kind of warm everything up like that. And this bronzer is nice and buildable, so it might seem like I'm caking it on, but this bronzer is super buildable, so it's really hard to go overboard with it. And I don't want too much like bam, you are a different race. I want just a little bit of light, light bronzer, just some light warmth to my skin, nothing too crazy. And next I'm going to go in with my Tarte Amazonian Clay blush. I absolutely love this stuff. I have this in a few different colors. This is the color Blushing Bride, and I like this because it gives my skin just a nice wash of color. It gives it like a very flushing, romantic, blushing color, which may be why it's called Blushing Bride, but it's not over the top where you get clown cheeks, if you know what I mean. Like here, I'll swatch it really fast. See, it's just a nice wash of color. It's nothing too crazy. And the formula for these is really, really nice. They don't get chalky, they don't break up, they don't anything. They just kind of glide on nice and smooth, and they look gorgeous. And they have a lot of different shades. I know, like I said, I have this, I think, in Doll Face, which is like a brighter baby pink. I have this in Exposed, which is like a nude color, which I think everybody should have a good nude blush. So there is my blush. Now we're going to go in with highlight. And something I've recently discovered with highlighter is I like to mix my highlighters and come up with like a custom shade. So I am actually going to go back to this Urban Decay palette, and I'm going to take some of this high color, this shimmery champagne-y color, and I'm going to apply that just like highlighter on the high points of my cheeks. And then right there. And a lot of people don't realize that highlighters can, you can make highlighters out of eyeshadow. Any shimmery, sparkly eyeshadow you have could also be a highlighter, depending on what skin tone you have. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Glow Getter color. I can't hold this too far, too upright, because one of my colors in this palette did break, and I don't want highlight to fall down everywhere. So I'm going to take this Glow Getter color out of the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette, which, by the way, is beautiful and fantastic, and just, I think she did a fantastic job on this. So, and I had never really heard of Nicole Guerrero until this palette came out, but I have checked out some of her stuff, and I do actually really like her. I think that she is entertaining, and I think that her makeup tutorials are very helpful. And see, that's the thing with a lot of these beauty gurus. You can watch them to be entertained, and if you do, then you'll be entertained. Or you can watch them and learn, which is how I learned everything I know. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, and almost everything I learned from Jaclyn Hill. So thank you, Jaclyn, if you're watching this, but I'm sure you're probably not. So, and there is that. There's my highlight. And then I'm going to go in with my unique brow palette. You guys know how much I love this. I don't think I need to beat this dead horse anymore. Again, I like that it's buildable. I like the colors they have in here. It's just perfect. I do need to get a new one of these, though, because I need more of that setting wax, or I could try a brow gel, I guess. But I do need to reactivate myself, so may as well purchase another one of these. The unique bonbons are also very good too. I have one of those near my bedside, and I also have one in my office, which I really, really love. So, I'm going to just kind of fill in my brows. I did finally get my brows waxed, and the girl who did them, her name's Leanne at Salon DeVoe, and she did a fantastic job. I will definitely be going back to her next time I need to get these puppies done. And so I'm going to take this darker shade here, and then I'm going to put that on the tail end of my brow. Make sure I'm holding the brush the right way. It's hard when I have to look at myself in the mirror, because the mirror does kind of flip things, reverse things, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Even more so than I normally don't know what I'm doing. So now I am going to look for my Anastasia brow pencil so I can fill in the other parts of my brows, which I currently can't find it. Oh, found it. It's behind the camera. Okay, so I'm going to take the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I like that these are so tiny because they make it so easy to get into these really little spots. And again, you want to go in really short, like really short, like wispy motions, and just kind of fill in your brows like such. And then I'm going to take the other end of this, which is a spoolie, and then I'm just going to kind of blend everything together so that everything looks nice and seamless and nice and natural, because obviously we're going for a natural look today. I mean, actually, I guess we kind of are, like, natural, glowy, you know, just make me, like, beam so that NASA can see me. That's what we're going for today. So, now I am going to take this brow palette again, and I am going to set my brows with this setting wax. And so, I'm going to just kind of do that like such. And same thing. And then that takes care of my brows. I am going to go back and highlight my brow bone, because for some reason I like to do my brows before I highlight my brow bone, just because I think it is easier. So I'm going to take this same brush I used to pack on my eyeshadow, because it's nice and thin and the shadow's not going to go everywhere. And I'm just going to take that and run that right under the brows. And then I'm going to take that and run that right under my brows again. And then I'm going to take the Nicole Guerrero Anastasia palette again, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put that right over the champagne. So the highlight's going to kind of match the theme we have going on with the eyes. It's going to be gold and champagne color, which I am such a matchy person, so I love when things match. So that just makes me feel all kinds of warm and fuzzies inside. So there is my face done. I am now going to set my face with some setting spray. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, and I'm just going to spray this all over my face, because I do spray setting spray before mascara, so I did not forget about mascara or lipstick. I just like to do this first. So there's my lipstick, and now there's my mascara. Okay, I'm going to fan that, let that dry a little bit. And then I'm going to take this Marc Jacobs mascara. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called, but it's a new Marc Jacobs mascara, and I've actually never tried it, so we're going to see together how it is. But I will find the actual title, and I will link it below, and I will also have it in my actual blog post where I list everything I used and what I think of it. But this is what the wand looks like. It looks very much like the Better Than Sex wand, so we're going to see how this goes. It was, I believe, $26, so the Better Than Sex is a little bit cheaper. So we're just going to kind of take that and I like to kind of blink my lashes onto the wand. And then I'm going to make sure I get the top of them too. And then go back. And when you put your mascara wand back in the tube, make sure you twist it like that to get more product on. Do not pump it. Like, don't go like this, because then that's going to introduce bacteria and other yucky stuff into your mascara, and that's just a recipe for an eye infection. And pink eye is not cute. So, going to and then I'm going to take this on my bottom lashes. I really can't talk while I do this, so I'm just going to like sit here hanging with my mouth open and put mascara on my bottom lashes. And do the other eye. And now for lipstick. I'm going to start off with MAC's Ruby Woo lipstick. And this is a really, really universally flattering red shade. I really love this. This is like a special edition packaging, but this is one of MAC's best-selling lipsticks, so. I'm going to put it on. It is a matte formula, so it can feel a little bit drying, which is why I suggest applying something like the Unique Lip Exfoliator, because that also has hydrating properties as well as exfoliating properties. And when you put a drying lipstick on top of lips that need exfoliation, it's not going to be cute. You're going to see all kinds of dead skin and all kinds of just crap that you need to get off your lips before you put a matte formula on. So there's that. And then, because you know how much I love the shine and the gloss, I'm going to go in with the Unique Lucrative Moodstruck Lip Gloss, which I really love this stuff. This stuff feels very hydrating on my lips. I really, really highly recommend these. And these are very pigmented glosses. I think they're like $15, so they're a little cheaper than like a Bare Minerals gloss, or about the same price as an Anastasia gloss. But I really, really like these. And this is the color Lethal. It's very similar in color to the MAC Ruby Woo. So I'm going to put this on just for like a glossy finish. Okay. And that is the completed look. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in my next video. As always, if you find inspiration in this and you want to recreate it or put your own personal spin on it, I would love to see your recreations. Leave them in the comments or like email them to me. Something, I would love to see them. So until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!